Maps tell stories. They reveal mountains, oceans, kingdoms, and the limits of human knowledge. But every so often, a map appears that seems to know far more than it should. A map so unusual that even after 5 centuries, historians still debate how it was created. This is the mystery of the Piri Reis Map. Our story begins in the early 16th century. The age of exploration had transformed the world. European sailors crossed oceans once thought impossible to navigate. New coastlines appeared on maps every year. Empires competed to discover lands that no one in Europe had ever seen. In the heart of the Ottoman Empire, one admiral was gathering knowledge from every corner of the known world. His name was Piri Reis, a skilled sailor, a respected navigator, and one of the greatest cartographers of his age. Born around 1470, Piri Reis spent much of his life at sea. He sailed throughout the Mediterranean, studied coastlines, collected navigation charts, and carefully recorded the experiences of sailors from many different nations. Unlike most mapmakers of his time, he did not rely on a single source. He compared dozens of charts, Portuguese maps, Arabic maps, ancient geographical works, and, according to his own notes, even a map associated with Christopher Columbus. Then, in 1513, Piri Reis completed a remarkable world map. Centuries later, only one surviving section would be discovered. Yet that fragment alone would astonish historians. The map accurately depicts the western coast of Africa, large parts of Europe, the Atlantic Ocean, and surprisingly detailed sections of South America. For a map created only 21 years after Columbus first reached the Americas, its accuracy appeared extraordinary. Even more remarkable, Piri Reis did something few cartographers of his era had ever done. He wrote notes directly onto the map. In those annotations, he explained where much of his information came from. He openly stated that he had combined numerous older charts to create a single, more accurate map. It was an unusually modern approach, not copying, but comparing, not guessing, but compiling evidence from many different sources. For centuries, the map remained hidden, forgotten inside the archives of the Ottoman Palace. Then, in 1929, during restoration work at Topkapı Palace in Istanbul, researchers made an unexpected discovery. Among old manuscripts, they found a worn piece of gazelle skin, covered with colorful coastlines, ships, compass roses, and detailed handwritten notes. It was the surviving fragment of the Piri Reis map. Its rediscovery immediately captured the attention of historians around the world. Some praised it as a masterpiece of navigation. Others believed it contained impossible knowledge. Could a map created in 1513 really texted lands that Europeans had barely explored? Or was something even more extraordinary hidden within its lines? The debate had only just begun. As historians examined the map more closely, new questions began to emerge. Some coastlines appeared remarkably accurate. The western coast of Africa matched known geography surprisingly well. The eastern coastline of South America was drawn with impressive detail for its time. Major rivers, prominent capes, natural landmarks, many corresponded closely with modern maps. How had Piri Reis achieved such precision in 1513? Part of the answer came from the map itself. Unlike many cartographers of his era, Piri Reis explained his sources. In handwritten notes, he stated that he had combined around 20 earlier maps and charts. Some came from Portuguese explorers, others from Arabic and Islamic geographers. Some were based on ancient traditions, and one, according to his own annotation, was connected to Christopher Columbus. That statement has fascinated historians for decades. No original map created by Columbus has ever been found. If Piri Reis truly had access to one, it may preserve information from a document now lost to history. But the greatest controversy was still to come. In the 20th century, some researchers proposed an extraordinary idea. They claimed the southern section of the Piri Reis map did not represent South America alone. Instead, they argued it showed the coastline of Antarctica. More specifically, they suggested it depicted Queen Maud Land beneath its modern ice sheet. If true, the implication would be astonishing. Antarctica was not officially sighted by European explorers until 1820. How could a map from 1513 portray a continent supposedly unknown for more than 300 years? The theory gained worldwide attention. Books, television programs, and documentaries repeated the claim. Some suggested the map preserved knowledge from an advanced, lost civilization. Others proposed that incredibly ancient navigators had charted Antarctica thousands of years before recorded history. It was a captivating idea. But many professional historians and cartographers disagreed. Detailed comparisons found that the disputed coastline aligns more closely with a distorted extension of South America than with Antarctica. Early Renaissance maps often stretched coastlines because explorers had incomplete information. Map projections were still evolving. Longitudes were difficult to calculate accurately. Small navigational errors could grow dramatically across an entire ocean. What appeared mysterious could often be explained by the limitations of 16th-century cartography. Even so, the Piri Reis map remains an extraordinary achievement. Its value does not depend on impossible claims. It demonstrates how knowledge from different cultures, Ottoman, Portuguese, Arabic, and possibly earlier Mediterranean traditions, could be brought together into a single remarkable work. It reminds us that exploration was never the achievement of one civilization alone. It was a shared human effort built across generations of sailors, scholars, and mapmakers. Yet one important question still remained. If the map itself was so advanced, what became of the many older charts that Piri Reis said he used? Most have disappeared, perhaps forever, and with them they may have taken part of the answer to this enduring mystery. More than 500 years have passed, yet the Piri Reis map continues to inspire debate around the world. Today, it is studied not only by historians, but also by cartographers, archaeologists, geographers, and historians of science. Modern technology has allowed researchers to examine the map in extraordinary detail. High-resolution digital scans reveal tiny handwritten notes, carefully drawn coastlines, and subtle corrections made by Piri Reis himself. Every line tells a story. Every annotation offers another clue. One conclusion has become increasingly clear. Piri Reis was not claiming to have discovered the world himself. He openly described his work as a compilation, a masterpiece created by comparing the best geographical knowledge available during his lifetime. In many ways, his approach resembles the work of a modern researcher. He collected evidence, compared different sources, rejected inconsistencies, and combined the strongest information into a single map. That alone makes the Piri Reis Map one of the greatest achievements in the history of cartography. Today, the surviving fragment is preserved in Topkapı Palace in Istanbul. Although only part of the original map remains, it continues to attract scholars from around the world. Every generation examines it with new tools: satellite imagery, digital reconstruction, geographic information systems, advanced image analysis. Yet, despite all this technology, some questions remain unanswered. Where are the maps Piri Reis used as references? Did every source survive long enough for him to study? Or were some already ancient when he copied them? Most of those charts have disappeared into history. Their loss makes the Piri Reis Map even more valuable, because it may preserve fragments of geographical knowledge that no longer exist anywhere else. Over the years, the map has also become surrounded by extraordinary claims. Some believe it proves the existence of forgotten civilizations. Others argue it demonstrates impossible navigation technologies. These ideas continue to capture public imagination, but extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. To date, no verified historical or archaeological evidence has confirmed that the map depicts an ice-free Antarctica or knowledge from a lost, advanced civilization. That does not diminish its importance. Quite the opposite. Its true achievement is already remarkable. It reflects the exchange of knowledge between civilizations, the experience of sailors who crossed dangerous oceans, and the determination of one Ottoman admiral to bring scattered information together into a clearer picture of the world. Perhaps that is the greatest lesson of the Piri Reis Map. History is rarely written by one person alone. It is built piece by piece, across cultures, across generations, and across oceans. As sunlight falls across the faded ink on the ancient parchment, the map continues to ask the same question it has asked for centuries. How much of the world had humanity already discovered before history forgot? Perhaps we will never know, but every coastline, every handwritten note, and every carefully drawn compass rose reminds us that curiosity has always driven exploration. The Piri Reis Map is more than an old chart. It is a bridge between civilizations, a masterpiece of navigation, and one of history's most fascinating documents. Not because it answers every question, but because it continues to inspire new ones. And that is why, more than 5 centuries after it was drawn, the Piri Reis Map remains one of history's greatest mysteries.